Hi everyone. So this week we are talking about imaginative play. Imaginative play is made up of two words you already know, and the imaginative part is the bit that interests us, in particular at this stage. So children using their imagination while playing. Now, play is really important to children. So if you combine those two things, play doesn't always have to involve imagination, but because you can just play with a ball and the ball is seen as a ball and you're playing with that object. But the moment you have to use your imagination to, let's call it, enrich the game, to embroider a bit on your game, that's when imagination is involved. And the role of imaginative play in child development is enormous. It is really important. So first of all, if we look at why do children play, I would actually like us to stop the video for a few seconds and for a few minutes and just talk about that. So you can stop the video for a while and then commence it again. So when we start the video, again, we are looking at play as something that happens not just in humans, but also in animals. Animals also play. And why do they play? They play because they need to learn things. So as humans, we also need to learn the things that we need to be able to do when we grow up. We learn how to function in a community through playing. That's how we learn how to do it. At first, we also look at how other people are behaving and what the results of their actions are. But the best way to learn is to play. And as we get older, or at first we just learn how to do things. For example, recognizing faces and getting to know our bodies. But as soon as we get a bit older, we start interacting with other people. And we get overwhelmed quite easily. We'll be talking a lot about sensory regulation, and this is one of the things that emotional overload is also a factor. So young children want the world to go their way. You would notice that, and you would know that. As children, we want everything to be the way we want them to be. Some people, even when they are adults, they still like that. And we see that as being immature, not having grown up properly yet. So we all know people who are in big positions in life and they still can't control their emotions. They don't know how to work with other people. And they expect everyone to fit in around them. So to learn that we are not the center of the universe is really important. We need to play with others and eventually to live and to work with others. So for that, we need to understand that our actions have consequences. What we do has an effect. And we need to learn that everybody else has feelings as well. It's not just us who get hurt, who get upset. Everyone does. You will see as you look at the list that we'll hand out of how children develop in their imaginative play, that they learn to regulate their feelings. So Elspeth talks a lot about sensory regulation, and this is the same. A little later in today's session, we will look at what immature play looks like and how it is necessary that immature play, sort of the little child play, develops to a more mature way of playing with others. So don't worry if you don't follow all of the learning material as we go through. You might find it a bit much to deal with in one lesson, but you will have the lists to look at later. The main message to take away from today's session is that you, as an adult carer of the child, are able to help the child cope with difficult situations by being available to suggest alternative actions, different ways of handling a problem. So you are going to help the child regulate the child's reaction. So you do not force the child to follow your suggestions, but you offer assistance when it is suitable and the child needs you, and you're always available to help if the child gets frustrated or if the child acts in a way that can be dangerous to other people. Just a quick note on the printable that we will hand out, a piece of paper with the pictures. It was developed, the text was developed by an Australian occupational therapist called Jo Jackson King. I worked with her on a project called the Imagination Games, and she wrote the text. I drew the pictures in this printable. We'll be looking at several resources from the Imagination Games project this week, as it fits in really well with the topic. So I hope you enjoy that. It's an interesting topic that I find very important. Enjoy.